Yep. Okay, we'll do it. Today I choose. Okay. What do I want my day to be? I choose. What do I want to feel today? I choose. What do I want to be today? I choose. I choose. I choose. I so grateful today. I choose to be so grateful, grateful.
And today, we are so glad that you have chosen to be with us. I am on. They can hear me. I mean, you can hear me in the house? Well, that's what I'm saying. There, now the speakers are working. All right. Okay. We're so grateful that you've chosen to be with us this morning. Thank you all for being here in person and for joining us online, whether you're watching now or at a later time. And no matter where you're watching from on our beautiful planet, you are welcome. And we're so grateful to have you with us this morning on this traditional land in Nanaimo of the Nanaimo people and throughout Vancouver Island. We're in the traditional ancestral home of the Coast Salish people. Wherever you are in Canada or around the world, please take a moment to acknowledge the contributions of the Indigenous people to our lives today. Haichka. And now some more music, please.
Okay. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I'm spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I'm spirit-led, flowing like a river of peace. I am nature's wandering child. Love cannot be added to me. I have been complete in the divine. I am spirit-led, spirit-fed, everywhere and always I'm spirit-led. I am spirit-led, spirit-led, everywhere and always I'm spirit-led. There's magic in every day. Okay, one more. Bring it on. Bring it on. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, keep you waiting. Okay. Bring it on, everything new, everything different, everything true. I am ready for my next thing to do. Oh, I know it's gonna be everything new. I'm through crying, I'm through waiting, I'm through hoping against all hope. I'm through longing for something good that never returns.
Thank you, James. And it occurred to me as I was listening to that, we have a wonderful announcement today. Our Thomas has been finally officially interviewed time and time again and approved fit to be ordained. It's official. So, as our prayer today, let us take into our consciousness Thomas and all the graduating ministers of unity. And let us know for them right now in all ways, there is a power and a presence that is infinite, eternal, knows everything, can do everything, and is aligned and waiting to be instructed. And we know that each and every one of these graduating students is bringing to our world new light, new truth, new hope, transforming and enriching lives, making a way through the difficulties of our world these days, showing the way. And we know that they are divinely guided and always will be led and shown and nourished and refreshed and replenished. That those who follow will be divinely inspired to lead more productive, happier lives. And that whenever there is a need by one of these ministers, there is someone there to fill it, to nurture them, to refresh them, and to guide them and lead them as they do great and wonderful work in our world. And for the dedication and the time that each one of these students has put in to their own growth so that they may lead others, we are so grateful for every one of them to see this teaching growing in our world. And we know that it will blossom and bloom and grow and make a true, true difference. And for this, we are truly grateful. We take the power of our words, knowing that our words are creative, and we release this with an open mind and an open heart and with great love into the universe, knowing that as we speak it, it is done, and so it is. Amen. Congratulations, Thomas. The reading this morning is again from Eric Butterworth. He says, "A dozen people could carefully study a panoramic view and then draw or paint a picture of it, and the result would reveal a dozen different pictures with striking differences of detail. Each person is seeing the scene with eyes that are basically the same in structure, but each person brings a preconditioning of consciousness that is unique to him. He sees the same picture, but because his frame of reference is different, his artistic representation is completely unique. A person who is unhappy sees things that tend to justify his unhappiness. The pessimist sees discouraging signs. Jesus said, 'If thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness.' Evil is not a power. There is only one power, and it is wholly good. If your perception of the potential goodness of life has been obscured by your fears, your cynicism, and your negative habits of thought, then the whole body of life's experiences will reflect that concealment of goodness. When we realize that evil is simply the concealment of good, then any person who is unloving, vicious, or unjust is actually a person who is good, but doesn't know it. In a very real way, we can change him, at least as far as we are concerned. We can see him with the single eye that relates only to the good and the true. We can salute the divinity in him. For us, he will be different. And if we expose him frequently to this kind of seeing, will be a strong influence for his actual change. This leads to a point that is interestingly made in a story that comes out of the lore of the island of Java. A young man spied a beautiful girl on the high road and followed her for a mile. Finally, she turned and demanded, 'Why do you dog my footsteps?' He declared feverishly, 'Because you are the loveliest thing I have ever seen, and I have fallen madly in love with you at sight. Be mine.' The girl replied, 'But you have merely to look behind you to see my young sister, who is 10 times more beautiful than I am.' The gallant swain wheeled about, and his gaze fell on as homely a girl as could be found in Java. 'What mockery is this?' he demanded of the girl. 'You lied to me. "So did you," she replied. "If you were so madly in love with me, why did you turn around?" I leave you with that. May we have another song, please?
Don't turn around. Okay. Okay. Running around fixing this and that, giving it up to God and then taking it back. Just release and let it go. You don't even have to think about it no more. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Let God do his thing. You look like the weight of the words is on your back. Just take a deep breath and cut yourself some slack. All that drama ain't good for you. You couldn't change what it if you wanted to, so get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Gonna shine and the rays are gonna flow. The tide's gonna rise without you said so. The universe is working and the good is flowing. You don't plan to sit and dig it up to see if it's going. So get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do his thing. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get out of the way and let God do his thing.
Takes a lot to get ready, really does. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I had all sorts of technical issues this morning that go beyond just the regular issues that I have, which are many, but the technical this morning was a bit much. So I don't have it printed out. I'm going to use my computer. But before I start, I just wanted to thank you, of course, for acknowledging this week. I had 3 interviews this week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And for those that I was speaking to Monday, I finished my interview and I said to Leslie, there's no way that they are going to let me in. And I was thinking, because I had already been telling everyone I'll be ordained this June, and I'm thinking, well, I'll graduate at least, but the ordained thing. And I was thinking about Brenda, who was planning to come, and others that were planning to come, and I'm like, you just wasted your money. So anyhow, Monday did not go well. Tuesday went much better. Wednesday went much better, and then Thursday I had my results, and they were, they just this.
Monday did not go well for you. They loved you.
Yeah, apparently I just, you know how you get things in your head that you can think of all the things that you didn't say that you wanted to say that didn't quite work out, and then you focus on those. And so anyhow, I'm grateful that Thursday, as soon as I got on the call, the first thing they said is, Unity Worldwide Spiritual Institute has recommended that you go forth for ordination. And I was like, what? And tears and 5.5 years. Wow, huh? Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, everybody joining us, and thank you, everybody here, for all of the support along this journey. And then while you were reading Eric Butterworth, when you were speaking of bloom and blossom and grow, I thought you were going to break into Edelweiss there for a moment. I was like, where's the blossom and grow forever? Yeah, so I wanted to play it for some reason. I don't really like the song, but it seemed appropriate. Anyhow, just give me a moment. I need to do something here. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's great to be here, huh? Thank you. Thanks, everybody. So thanks for having me today. Grateful for this new opportunity and this new position here. It's wonderful. I'd just like to bring my stuff with me, if that's okay. If that's okay with you, I've got a few things that I've brought along the way with me here. Oh, yeah, this one. I'm going to bring this to this new gig. Anybody have this? My boss is a jerk, right? You know? Actually, I think all of my bosses have been a jerk. So we're going to bring that to the job. And how about, this one. My parents' religion. Yeah, I'm bringing that with me too. That's coming along with me for the ride. It's going to be great. You guys are going to love it. Oh, yeah, I've got this with me too. I hurt a few people when I was younger. So I'm bringing that with me as well that I haven't quite processed yet. So we're going to bring that to the job. Oh, this is an ongoing one. I am angry at the government. That I am so fed up with them. Yeah, that's coming. What else we got in here? Isn't this a great bag that I brought with me? Huh? Don't you love it? Oh, my favorite. My parents ruined my life. Everything they did was. Oh, and anybody have brothers and sisters? Yeah. How about the unresolved conflict with my siblings? Huh? That's a gooder. Yeah, that's a gooder. I like that. That's a gooder. And now these are in no particular order, and you can add to this list if you'd like. Oh, I've had a couple of bad relationships. I'm definitely bringing that one to the party. And into any new relationship I have, guess what? It's coming along for the ride. So yeah, anybody relate? Yeah? Yeah, that's the past that we like to bring along. So have you put the past in the past? That's my question. Have you put the past in the past? Like really put it in the past? Because that's probably the biggest struggle we're going to face in our lives is letting go of the stuff, right? The backpack of stuff. Because here's what happens. We start something new in our lives, and if we haven't dealt with the past, what do? We bring it along. But we don't just bring it along. As soon as we arrive, we actually put it right in front of us and go, here I am. I'm here. And here's all my stuff.
But you're looking for unconditional love at the same time.
That's right. Yes, thank you. And Ken offers that. And you're also looking for unconditional love at the same time. And you're looking to be accepted and appreciated and all of those things. And yet we're carrying our baggage with us. And it's not a good or bad thing. That's not what I'm suggesting here. It's just that how do we think things are going to go in a new relationship or a new situation or a new job or a new town, whatever it is, and anything new, How are we going to actually have something new if what we keep doing is bringing our stuff along for the ride? Right? We need to find a way in which to process our things, in which to let go of things. And it really begins with forgiveness, and not just forgiveness of others, but forgiveness of ourselves. And forgiveness really is intended for us. That's for each one of us. When we can forgive, when we can let go, when we can actually heal that thing within us and truly heal ourselves, then we clear the space. And when we clear the space, what's possible?
New things to come.
New things. Anything is possible when we've actually cleared the space for ourselves. And it's not easy. I get it. Believe me, I just went through 5.5 years of figuring out how much stuff I really had. And it's an everyday process. It's an everyday process for me. I'm not fixed. I was never broken. I just have an understanding now that I've got stuff that I need to sort out. And anytime there's a problem with somebody, it's right here. When I'm pointing the finger, guess what? There's all these pointing back at me, right? That's the trick, and that's understanding that it's my stuff. But see, there's some stuff that we don't want to leave necessarily in the past. And so I'm going to invite you to take a really big leap with me today. I have no idea how this is going to go. This is just an accumulation of a whole bunch of things that kind of happened this week that landed. And I thought, this would be a great talk. This would be a really great talk. And then I don't know, maybe it won't be. Maybe it'll be a crash and burn. All right, so this is like an accumulation of Francis Schaeffer, Francis Bacon, Oppenheimer, the Apologetics Roadshow, and Jordan Peterson. All these things this week that I have been listening to and reading and sorting myself through has kind of culminated into this, and also some biblical scripture. So I think I'm gonna suggest something, that Christianity is actually. So does anybody have a thing with Christianity? Like when you think of being Christian, or if I am Christian, or if I'm not Christian, is there anybody jarred by that? Is there some sort of stuff that stirs up? Right. I know for me that was a bit for me when I was a kid growing up, and when I left the house, that certainly had some triggers for me. And I'm not suggesting that you are Christian or you're not, or that I am or that I'm not. Yet, if we really looked at our society, especially here in North America, the Western culture, it is so based, and maybe it's basted too, but it is so based in Christianity, and yet I also wanted to throw it all out, right? Like, it's got nothing to do with me. But just go with me on this little journey, if you will. So the idea is that Christianity is actually the basis of scientific discovery. That in the Middle Ages, 1500s, 1400s, Christianity is actually what encouraged what we would say today as modern scientific discovery. And it was actually, to go down that scientific path back then, was thought to be godlike. It was thought to be an act of worshiping. All right, so that's sort of what I'm going to try to lay out here, that this is maybe a part of the past we don't want to forget and we want to think about in terms of how we might structure our lives going forward. Okay, so I'm going to start with Psalms 19, and this is for the director of music, a psalm of David. So the heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal knowledge. They have no speech, they use no words, no sound is heard from them. Yet their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the end of the world. In the heavens, God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. It rises at one end of the heavens and makes its circuit to the other. Nothing is deprived of its warmth. The law of the Lord is perfect, refreshing the soul. The statutes of the Lord are trustworthy, making wise the simple. The precepts of the Lord are right, giving joy to the heart. and the commands of the Lord are radiant, giving light to the eyes. So my interpretation of this, I'll try to shorten this so I'm not up here for 3 days. My interpretation of this is there's a look to the heavens as an idea of what creation or God might be. So if we go way back to when this was written, which was a few thousand years ago, the patriarchal God is he, there's a lot of reference to that. But if we remove that and we were to think about somebody looking up at the stars and the vastness back then without all the scientific knowledge we have, they're trying to parse together or piece together, what is this thing, God? What is it? And they were looking to the heavens to try to understand, the sun going across the sky every day, the stars at night, all of this is influencing, they're trying to grasp, why are we here? Has anybody asked that question of themselves? Like, why are we here? What is my life all about? So it's not like it's brand new stuff that we're thinking about. It's been going on for a long, long time. So that's kind of the beginning of maybe an idea that there's something greater than ourselves and we're trying to figure it out. Then when Christianity came along, what happened was they had developed to a point where people were beginning to say, hey, maybe there's something here that I could actually begin to unpack. I'll use the word unpack. I doubt they use that word, but I'll use it. They were thinking in terms of, we have intelligence, we think the universe can be understood, and we're capable of trying to understand it. And so when you think about the printing press first being created, what was the first book that was printed in mass production? The Bible. When you think of universities and colleges, where did they come from? Monasteries. This is what was happening at that time, is they were actually beginning to try to figure out, what the heck are we? Why are we here? And we can probably look to the stars as David did, 1,500 years before that, looking to the stars to understand ourselves. And that's when that whole idea of scientific discovery began to land in humanity, or in the Western culture, so to speak, as to maybe we can really begin to look to ourselves, to the heavens as an understanding. And so, from Romans 1:18, the wrath of God is being revealed from heaven against all the godlessness and wickedness of people, who suppress the truth by their wickedness, since what may be known about God is plain to them, because God has made it plain to them. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse. So I would interpret that as nature. It's all around us. It's everywhere in front of us. It's been plain to us from day one what God is, what creation is. And so this was that idea that it was a reasonable God, a reasonable universe, and humankind can use reason to understand creation and God. That was what sort of began in the 14th, 15th century, is that is the supposition, I guess, that they worked upon, that we could actually begin to figure this out. Like, wow, we're here. Cool. We got all this stuff. We got all these examples. And so then what happened is theories began to be tested. People began to test Scripture, the written word, to see what that looked like. So 3 keys. The universe can be understood, so it's intelligible. We are the kind of things that can understand it. We're capable of it. And it's good for us to understand it. It would actually be good for us. Is it not good for us to understand the workings of what's around us, nature itself, right? So that was what was being worked upon. And if we are right about the universe, right about ourselves and the goodness of knowledge, it is redemptive. We can find redemption in understanding all of this. I know, you guys are just blown away by this idea, right? I was when I heard it. What? You mean science began then? Like Christianity had actually something to do with science itself, with the idea that we could understand ourselves? I had no idea. That concept had never occurred to me. And I'm not completely convinced that that's accurate because I haven't read enough books about it at this time, but it sure sounds like that I could probably draw some lines to understand that. And so what I was left with was, well, maybe Christianity isn't that bad a thing. Like if I take out the dogma of it and all of the stuff that's gone on around it and look at some of the ideas that have spawned from it, there might be something there deeper for me to understand, just like there is when I read Buddhist writings and teachings, when I read about Taoism. I'm very fascinated by that as well. So I'm willing to let go of the stories I have about Christianity and try to develop a new flavor for it. Maybe there's something else, a different way I can come at it, and a different way I could look at it. So now I'm going to really take a massive leap here. So could you agree, I'll use this as an example, could you agree that as I drop this, there are a whole bunch of mathematical equations going on every instant as that flutters down to the ground? And if I take I'll use this, I don't have a pen handy, but if I take this, it lands differently, yet there are a whole bunch of mathematical equations that are actually showing us how that's going to fall, how it's going to react. All right, so in the beginning, there was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So the language of math, I know it's crazy, the language of math is actually the language of the universe. It's often argued that if we were to run into another species somewhere out on some other planet, the one way we could communicate with them is through math. Because math is always going on. In every instant, in everything around us, it's mathematical. It's happening. It's an equation. It is when a sun explodes, it's all math. So I've been sitting the last few days thinking, is math the language of God? But in a weird way, I am kind of thinking it in this weirdest way. It is. Like it is an understanding of the universe. That everything that we have is a mathematical equation that is going on. And the universe unfolds perfectly. It does not make a mistake. Everything that happens has been already worked out through math. It doesn't just, I don't even know that I can give a mathematical example. I was trying to think of the idea, what's that? Climate change? Yeah. Temperature. So yeah, somebody's suggesting climate change and temperature. Like all of this stuff is definitely math. But I was trying to think in terms of light speed and, but I don't know enough about light speed and the discovery of it and the, time shift and that to actually go into that. But if you were to unpack that, it's all about math. And this is what Christianity was trying to develop and discover in a roundabout way of actually going into the scriptures and trying to prove their theories of God that they had in the scriptures. I mean, that's been going for how long? Like the Bible itself is the most read, most printed book in the history of mankind. It is us trying to figure out how are we here, why are we here. This is not an advertisement for Christianity in any way. I'm just curious about that connection, that, wow, they were on to something that spurred on much of what we have today in our Western culture. And the advancement in science and technology is actually born from that curiosity and that desire to understand something greater than ourselves. And then there's this idea of nothingness. So when you look up at the heavens at nighttime, doesn't it look like there's like a lot of space between stuff, right? And this thinking that, well, it's nothing, but nothing is actually something, isn't it? Because if there was no nothing there, then every single star in the sky would be clumped into one pile, right? But so we actually need that space. So if we treat nothing, and I forget where I got this quote, I apologize. If we treat nothingness as if it were ineffective, as if it weren't important at all, if no space in the night sky, there would be no stars. If space is essential to solid, so at the atomic level, there is more space in something than anything else, then nothing is essential to something. So we actually need all that nothingness so that we can have something. It's crazy. And again, it's all math. It is all the language of the universe. That's it. That's all I got today. That's like, that's it. So I'll leave you with that to ponder for the week. And when you come back next week, I'd like some thoughts about how this affected you, if it did at all. But no, I guess I was, when I sort of was piecing all of this together this week and I was listening to some podcasts and reading some material, I was really hit by this idea, like how do I, stepping into ministry, actually move forward now with these ideas in my head that they've now been planted, and how do I actually begin to define them in a way that is not only like meaningful for me, but then I can hopefully add some meaning to other people, to have a way to look at things a little bit differently than maybe we have. And so with that, it goes in two things. There's probably parts of the past that we would benefit from letting go of and saying goodbye to. Kind of started there. But I think there's parts of the past that maybe we don't want to let go of. That maybe we actually want to embrace them and celebrate them and create more conversation around them as we continued on our own. Each of us here is on our own personal journey in spirituality, in the uncovering of God, of what does that look like, the universe itself. How do I live my best life? How do I, aspire to be good in the world, if we want to use that term good? How do I do that? And I think somewhere between these two different ideas of the past is a path maybe that we can walk, where we can use old things from the past to help us to let go of those things from the past that maybe we don't want to hang on to. Yeah. All right. Let's, thank you. Okay. So why don't we take a few moments and have some meditation? Maybe breathe, thinking about the mathematical of breath. We could do some box breathing. I'll invite that. So we'll count in for 4. So you can do this yourself. 1, 2, 3, 4. As you breathe in, a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. Exhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 4. And just keep repeating that same cycle. And if you're comfortable, you can close your eyes. If not, find a place on the ground where you can soften your gaze. And allow yourself to be in the silence with your breath. And I invite you to continue with that for as long as you'd like as James sings in our next song. And you can gently open your eyes as you choose. Namaste.
I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to the present moment here, to a new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. Get ready, my soul. Do not press that mute button. If you love me, darling, because if you mess with it, you are killing us all. You say that you love me. Come on, let's prove it to me. Show me your love and strength by making world peace. Do not press that new button if you love me, darling, because if you mess with it, you are killing us all. You say that you love me. Come on, let's prove it to me. Show me your love and strength by making world peace. Intelligent man won't believe he would lend a hand. Make peace, he will earn a word of friend. Wise men do not steal a neighbor's land, 'cause every human being, we are created equal. That's our strength. Let's have a party all over the world. Let's sing and dance, everyone. Let's make a lot of love, then make peace too all over the world. Let's ask everyone, how can we help? Instead of judging and making of hell, let's show the world the power of music and love. Children of the world, all boys and girls, let's talk to your father and your mother, mommy and daddy. Let's make peace and share it to all the world. All we have need is a roof over our head, 3 meals daily, and some good friends and a lot of love. No war, no killing, let's do it, our friend. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Intelligent man won't believe he would lend a hand. Make peace, he will earn a word of friend. Wise men do not steal a neighbor's land, 'cause every human being, we are created equal. That's our strength. Let's have a party all over the world. Let's sing and dance, everyone. Let's make a lot of love and make peace to all over the world. Let's ask everyone, how can we help? Instead of judging and making of hell, let's show the world the power of music and love. Children of the world, all boys and girls, let's talk to your father and your Let's do it, our friend. 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 Let's do it, our friend.
Thank you, James. There aren't many songs that can make us dance and cry at the same times. Thank you. Some announcements. Unity Canada will not be having an annual full conference this year like last year. Instead, we're doing 2 mini conferences, which will be virtual. So the first is April 15th. The theme is Transforming Power, Privilege, and Prejudice. And it's being presented by, the next slide, these are the presenters from Credence and Company. And that will be on Saturday, April 15th. And the Canadian Path is out this week, and we'll have links for you to register for that. So mark that on your calendar and plan to come. And the next Spirit Group orientation is coming up on April 13th. So Spirit Groups are going crackers across Canada. I think there's 7 or 8 are in process now, and then there'll be a bit of a break, and we'll start a summer session with more. And so trainers, hosts, facilitators are always welcome to join us. And there's just like this one will be 2 hour-and-a-half sessions coming up, 2.5 hour sessions. It's tough, yeah. But it's easy and it's fun, and check it out if you'd like to consider being a Spirit Group leader. Next Sunday is Easter Sunday, and Reverend Vicky will be speaking in person at Comox, and that will be followed by a potluck lunch. So her talk title will be Rising from the Ashes. So if you're in the Comox area or would like to travel up and visit for that, please do. And in Victoria, tomorrow will be a prayer circle as usual at the First Metropolitan Church, room 119. And next, two weeks from today, they will have an in-person service with Anna Harvey as the speaker. And you all probably know Anna Harvey from the conference. She is the communications director for Unity Canada. And the Poisonwood Bible we've halfway through, but the copy I have is making the rounds, and people are enjoying this book tremendously. There are 2 more sessions, and it's not too late to join in on April 13th and 27th. And Sharon will be starting next Sunday, her first session of the Full Moon Circle. It's a women's group, and Sharon is here today on cameras. Thank you, Sharon. If you'd like to take part in that, you can let her know or email her at mcleods1@hotmail.com. Not hotmail.om. Interesting. And Thomas's group continues on Tuesday evenings at 6:30. Is that still open, Thomas? Okay. Thank you. And in-person meditation is available every Sunday at 10 o'clock in the meditation room here in Nanaimo. So please join me in repeating our affirmation. I salute the divinity in myself. I am strong and able. I can do all that I need to do this day. My mind is alert, my body vital and healthy, and my way is strewn with golden opportunities. No matter what this day will bring to me, there is that in me that is great enough to meet it, overcome it, and be blessed by it. And I don't believe we have any children today, do we? Are they in the room? Oh, how wonderful. We'll welcome the children. Oh, hi, girls. Hello, welcome. Yeah. We're glad you came to be with us this morning, ladies. Let's tell the children what we think. We see the divine light shining as you. We love and appreciate you exactly the way you are. And thanks to Brooke out there for being our children's leader every week. And we thank everyone for the volunteer work that we do here and for the financial support. If you like to and are in a position to be able to support us financially, the easiest ways is donations at unityvancouverisland.com. But whatever way that you find to make it work, we'll appreciate. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence above all else. All right. Please join us for our prayer of protection, followed by the peace song. The light that is God surrounds us. We are one with the light. The love that is God enfolds us. We are one with the love. The power that is God protects us. We are one with the power. The presence that is God watches over us. We are one with the presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well, and so it is. Amen.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that's worth meant to be. With God as our fun, brothers all are we. Let us with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment, to live each moment with peace eternally. Let